Two Hollywood giants. One gym. A moment of mockery that spiraled into something no one expected. When The Rock insulted Keanu Reeves, what followed wasn't a fight. It was a masterclass in humility, power, and respect. This is that story. It was a quiet Tuesday morning in Los Angeles. At Iron Temple, a private gym favored by celebrities, the place was nearly empty. A few A-listers rotated through squat racks and dumbbell benches. The smell of steel and chalk lingered in the air. Keanu Reeves, wearing a plain black hoodie and track pants, had just finished his warm-up. Known for his humility and soft-spoken nature, he moved like a ghost, calm, unnoticed, and focused. At the other end of the gym, the unmistakable figure of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was finishing his third set of incline bench press. Loud music played from his personal speaker. He was larger than life, grunting with effort and fist-bumping his trainer. They were opposites in every sense. And yet, their paths were about to collide. Keanu moved to the squat rack next to The Rock's area. He quietly loaded up 135 pounds, just a warm-up. As he moved through his reps with slow, perfect form, The Rock noticed him. "Yo, Keanu," The Rock said with a half-smile. "Didn't know you worked out here." Keanu smiled politely. "Hey, Dwayne. Just getting some reps in." The Rock chuckled and nodded to Keanu's bar. "That all you lifting? Come on, man, those are beginner numbers." His tone was joking, sort of. His entourage laughed. But Keanu just smiled. "I like to go slow and steady," he said. The Rock smirked. "You're gonna need more than slow and steady if John Wick ever fights Black Adam." Laughter echoed again. Keanu simply nodded and continued his workout, unshaken. Over the next 20 minutes, The Rock continued to throw jabs, light-hearted, but increasingly pointed. "You sure you're not just stretching? Is that bar even heavy enough to register on a scale? Man, I've seen my cheat meals lift more than that." His crew found it hilarious. But Keanu stayed silent. He didn't argue. Didn't joke back. He just kept working out, rep after rep, perfect form, almost meditative. The gym started paying attention. Trainers whispered. A few phones were raised, discreetly recording. Something felt off. This wasn't banter. It was becoming something else. As The Rock finished another massive set, he walked over to Keanu. "Seriously, man, what's the point of lifting like that? You ever think about actually getting strong?" Keanu set down his weights and looked up. His expression wasn't angry. It was calm. Almost serene. "Strength doesn't always look the same, Dwayne." The room grew quiet. "Oh yeah." The Rock folded his arms. "You saying I'm not strong?" Keanu shook his head. "No. You're strong. But you talk about it a lot. Sometimes the loudest person in the room is the weakest one inside." The Rock froze. So did the room. Keanu Reeves had trained for The Matrix, John Wick, and more with elite Navy SEALs, jiu-jitsu masters, and tactical experts. But he never bragged about it. Behind the camera, he worked 8-hour days on stunts, learned to ride horses, handle firearms, and practice meditative discipline. He could shoot, fight, and fall like a professional. He trained his body not for size, but for precision. For function. For stillness under pressure. To him, the gym was not a stage, it was a temple. The Rock, now visibly challenged, smirked. "All right, let's see what you got, Wick." He pointed to the combat dummy in the back. 5 hits. "Let's see if you can even move that thing." Keanu didn't reply. He walked over quietly. No gloves. No warm-up. He stood in front of the dummy, took a breath, and wham, 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 wham. 5 strikes, elbow, palm, knee, hook, sweep. Fast. Clean. Devastating. The dummy spun on its axis. Even the trainer nearby raised his eyebrows. There was no wasted movement. No show. Just brutal, efficient force. Everyone went quiet. Even The Rock. A lesson in humility. Keanu turned back, calm as ever. "I don't lift to show off. I lift to stay ready. I train to protect. To stay grounded. I'm not trying to outmuscle the world. Just outlast it." The Rock stood still, something shifting in his eyes. He looked around. The room was no longer with him. They were with Keanu, not because of strength, but because of how he carried it. "I was just messin' with you, man," The Rock said, voice quieter. Keanu nodded. "I know." That's when The Rock did something no one expected. He extended his hand. Keanu shook it. Aftermath. Later that day, The Rock posted on Instagram. "Met Keanu Reeves at the gym today. Tried to clown him a little. Man didn't flinch. Gotta say, dude's made of steel and zen. Respect." Asterisk. The post went viral. Fans applauded Keanu's grace. Others praised The Rock for owning up. But more than that, people talked about what real strength looked like. Not loud. Not proud. But grounded. Peaceful. Powerful in silence. We live in a world that often confuses noise for power. But as Keanu showed that day, true power doesn't need to scream. It doesn't need applause. It's quiet. Patient. Focused. The Rock came in with muscles. Keanu came in with mastery. One trained to conquer. The other trained to endure. And in the end, endurance won. So the next time someone doubts your quiet strength, remember this. Let your actions whisper louder than their words. Subscribe for more stories of power, humility, and the surprising truths hidden behind fame.